Good day, this is Mr. K's, and this is 13.4a. 13.4a. We've been looking at the origins of feudalism in the Middle Ages in Western Europe. And we're going to see that the church has a place here as an institution of power and influence in the lives of people. We're going to see that as it continues, the church, the Pope, and the rulers are going to sometimes disagree as to who has the power. All right, the scope of church authority. In church structure, we're going to see that in crowning Charlemagne emperor in 800, there's going to be a clash between the spiritual and political matters of the realm. In reality, the church is going to disagree on the boundaries of each realm. Where does the holy influence stop, and where does the secular influence stop and start? We see that the church structure was made up of clergy. Now there's different ranks, and I said this in earlier lessons, that the clergy they were professional church dudes. They were religious officials. That would include the Pope, cardinals, archbishops, bishops, and priests. Religion did unify the people. It was a unifying force, for sure. During this era of constant chaos, warfare, the church was a stabilizing force for people. It gave them comfort, and it provided Christians with a sense of security and religious community. The Middle Ages sometimes were called the Age of Faith, the Age of Faith, because people looked to the church for answers. Priests and other religious officials are going to administer sacraments. These are important religious ceremonies that are going to help pave the way for salvation. That's what a sacrament is. And I'll give you some examples here. Confirmations, it's when a baby is confirmed. Baptism, it could be adult baptism or it could be infant baptism. They're going to pave the way for you being saved. Again, these shared religious beliefs are going to unify people throughout Europe, and it was defined by class structure. So you're going to see not only the nobles go to church, but also the peasants. As far as church justice goes, they had a court system. Canon law, C-A-N-O-N, not C-A-N-N-O-N, is law of the church. And that would mean that kings as well as peasants alike were subject to this law of the church. I'll give you an example of that. Marriages and practices of the church, as we've seen before, baptisms, etc., etc. Last rites, when you're just about ready to die, the church would have the say over that. And if you did not do what the church said, you would be tried in these religious courts of violating canon law. Now, punishments. Two of the harshest punishments were excommunication, which means banishment from the church, and in a sense you were denied salvation. And if you were a noble and you were excommunicated, that means that you could not have any vassals. That means you could not give land to anybody, which meant you didn't get any goods and services. Another one would be interdiction or interdict. That means if a king did not obey the church, there would be no sacraments performed in the king's lands. And it would really anger the peasants and the nobles and the tradesmen and the knights, saying to the king, you get right with the church because we can't get married, we can't get buried, we can't get blessed. We're doomed to hell. So it would put pressure on the king by his subjects to do the right thing. Now, we see earlier that the Holy Roman Empire is an important institution. It is a union of the church and the kingdom. And we see the Holy Roman Empire really started by Charlemagne. But we're going to see it continue on with Otto I. Now, Otto is German. Otto had a boyhood hero, and it was Charlemagne. He grew up wanting to be a Holy Roman Emperor. When Pope Leo III crowned Charlemagne, he started that conflict between popes and rulers unwittingly. King Otto I of Germany is going to form an alliance with the church, and at the Pope's request, he invades Italy to bring an end to chaos. And that seems like a good thing. But we're going to see signs of future conflicts in that these Italian nobles resented German rule, and popes began to fear Germany's rising power. Otto, in a sense, is trying to revive Charlemagne's Holy Roman Empire. So we're going to see down the line there's going to be a shootout between popes and kings. We'll talk about that down the road. This is Mr. K's. Bye-bye.